In the tense aftermath of the July 2023 Iran-Israel conflict, a period marked by heightened tensions and strategic recalculations, a quiet revolution unfolded in the Middle Eastern skies, unseen by many but deeply significant in its implications. Iran made a bold move, a decision that would ripple through the world of technology and geopolitics. It strategically disabled American GPS for its military and critical infrastructure, recognizing the vulnerabilities inherent in relying on a system controlled by a potential adversary. Turning instead to China's BeiDou navigation satellite system, a robust and rapidly expanding alternative. This wasn't just technical. It wasn't merely a systems upgrade or a change in software. It was a geopolitical statement, a deliberate act of defiance and a quest for strategic independence, signaling Iran's decisive break from the long-standing U.S. technological dominance in a critical sector. In modern warfare, where precision and real-time data are paramount, satellite navigation is everything, the invisible infrastructure upon which military operations are built. By switching to BeiDou, Iran aimed to secure its strategic interests. Iran protected itself from the ever-present risk of potential U.S. interference or disruption of its navigation capabilities. The move highlighted a growing global trend, a shift in the balance of power in the digital realm. Nations are increasingly seeking viable alternatives to U.S.-controlled systems, diversifying their technological dependencies. No longer willing to passively accept technological dependence as an inevitable reality of the modern world. BeiDou's successful deployment and operational resilience during a period of heightened conflict proved definitively that it's not just a backup or a theoretical alternative, but a reliable, fully independent system capable of meeting the demands of modern military and civilian applications. For Iran and other nations watching closely, this strategic shift was fundamentally about autonomy, about asserting control over their own technological destiny, choosing technology partners based on mutual benefit, without the burden of political strings attached or undue influence. The long-held era of absolute U.S. technological dominance is gradually fading, giving way to new realities, replaced by a more complex and multipolar digital landscape, where multiple players vie for influence and innovation. The world's reliance on GPS is no longer a given, but a conscious choice among a growing array of options. And increasingly, more countries are actively choosing a new path, forging their own independent routes in the digital age. GPS, the Global Positioning System, is run and maintained by the U.S. military, a fact that underpins its capabilities and inherent risks. It powers everything from the navigation apps on your phone, providing turn-by-turn directions, to the intricate systems of global finance, where precise timing is crucial. But beneath its veneer of public utility and everyday convenience lies a stark reality. The U.S. has the power to degrade or completely deny GPS access at will, effectively making it a powerful tool of control and influence on the global stage. For any nation whose interests may be at odds with Washington's, this dependence represents a significant strategic risk, a vulnerability that can't be ignored. Militaries can find themselves blinded in critical operations, and essential infrastructure can be paralyzed, leading to widespread disruption. This isn't just a hypothetical scenario. The U.S. has, in the past, used GPS as a form of leverage, subtly or overtly, forcing other countries to seriously reconsider the extent of their reliance on a system they don't control. The ever-present risk of digital blockades and strategic denial is what ultimately drives the global search for viable alternatives and independent systems. Nations are increasingly prioritizing sovereignty over their critical systems, seeking autonomy, and avoiding vulnerability to sudden foreign policy shifts or geopolitical pressures. The rise of BeiDou is a direct and understandable response to this dynamic, offering the world a reliable and crucially independent navigation system. It's not merely a backup or redundancy measure. It's rapidly becoming a co-equal competitor in the global navigation landscape, breaking the long-held monopoly and finally giving countries a real and meaningful choice in their navigation infrastructure. This fundamental shift promises a more stable and balanced and ultimately more equitable digital ecosystem for all. The age of reliance on a single point of technological control and potential vulnerability is drawing to a close, paving the way for a multipolar world. China's drive for its own navigation system began in 1993 with the Yinhe cargo ship incident. The U.S., suspecting the ship of carrying chemical weapons, degraded its GPS, leaving it stranded and vulnerable. The ship was eventually cleared, But the lesson for China was clear. Technological dependence is a national security risk. This humiliation became the catalyst for BeiDou. China's leaders realized true sovereignty required their own satellite navigation system. The BeiDou project was elevated to a top national priority, fueled by the memory of the Yinhe's helplessness. Every satellite launched was a step away from foreign control. The goal ensured no Chinese vessel or citizen would ever be at the mercy of another nation's technology. The Yinhe incident transformed a theoretical risk into a strategic imperative. BeiDou's creation was about erasing vulnerability and offering that security to others. It was the spark for a technological revolution. BeiDou isn't just a GPS clone, it's a formidable competitor, and in some ways, it's superior. BeiDou offers 1-2-meter accuracy, outpacing GPS's typical 3-5 meters, thanks to a larger, more advanced satellite constellation. With over 50 satellites in multiple orbits, BeiDou provides robust, continuous coverage, especially in Asia-Pacific. More satellites mean faster, more reliable positioning, even in challenging environments. BeiDou's game changer, two-way short message communication. Users can send and receive texts even where phones can't reach. This is vital for disaster relief and maritime safety, capabilities GPS simply doesn't offer. BeiDou is a next-gen system, learning from GPS and improving on it. Its technical edge is why more countries and industries are adopting it as their primary navigation tool. BeiDou is not just an alternative, it's often the better choice. BeiDou's reach now spans over 140 countries, especially in Asia, Africa, and Latin America. China's approach is hands-on, providing hardware, training, and support, making adoption seamless and affordable. In Africa, BeiDou powers precision agriculture, boosting yields and food security. In South America, ports like Callao and Peru use BeiDou for safer, more efficient shipping. Its unique messaging feature is a lifeline during disasters, helping rescue teams coordinate when other networks fail. BeiDou's integration into national infrastructure, from farming to logistics, transforms economies and saves lives. This isn't just about technology, it's about building a China-centric ecosystem of partner nations. As more countries join, they gain independence from U.S. control and strengthen ties with China. BeiDou is creating a new global standard for navigation. The constellation in the sky is mirrored by a growing constellation of nations on the ground. BeiDou is a cornerstone of China's global strategy, tightly woven into the Belt and Road Initiative. It provides the navigation backbone for railways, ports, and pipelines across continents, making the BRI a true digital Silk Road. China exports not just infrastructure but digital sovereignty, helping countries build independent networks and data centers. This shift is changing global tech alliances, as even U.S. allies diversify away from American systems. Examples abound. Spain choosing Huawei for sensitive systems, Canada debating closer China ties. These moves reflect a broader trend. Countries seeking alternatives to U.S. tech dominance. China's model offers shared development and mutual benefit, contrasting with the West's conditional approach. BeiDou is more than navigation. It's the foundation of a new, interconnected global order. Through BRI and digital infrastructure, China positions itself as an indispensable partner. The digital Silk Road is reshaping the world's technological landscape. BeiDou's rise, a testament to China's technological prowess, mirrors a dramatic shift in global opinion, reflecting a profound change in how the world perceives China's role on the international stage. This shift isn't just a superficial trend, it represents a fundamental realignment of global sentiment. A recent comprehensive study found that a remarkable 79% of the world's population now views China more favorably than the US. This marks a significant turning point in global perceptions. This isn't a fluke. It's not a momentary blip on the radar. It's the result of years of strategic investment, fostering genuine partnerships, and adhering to a policy of non-intervention. China's ambitious Belt and Road Initiative projects have brought much-needed roads, modern ports, and essential hospitals to developing countries long ignored and often overlooked by the West. The U.S., by contrast, is often perceived as sanction-heavy and quick to intervene in foreign affairs, pushing nations to actively seek alternative partnerships and alliances. China's offer of technological independence, coupled with a deep respect for national sovereignty, is undeniably winning hearts and minds across the globe. This shift has real and tangible consequences. It facilitates easier trade deals, promotes the adoption of new technology standards, and forges stronger political coalitions that benefit China. As trust in the U.S. continues to wane and erode, the appeal and attractiveness of a multipolar world with distributed power grows stronger. The impressive 79% favorability figure clearly signals a world that is ready and eager for new leadership, one that is primarily focused on development and cooperation rather than dominance and control. Global opinion is now undeniably the wind in China's sails, propelling it forward. The world is essentially voting with its preferences and alliances for a new model of global engagement. BeiDou's story is the story of a new era, one where no single nation controls the world's navigation. The existence of a robust alternative to GPS has rebalanced global technological power. BeiDou proves that world-class systems can come from anywhere, not just the West. This new reality means greater global stability and sovereignty. Multiple independent systems prevent any one country from holding the world hostage. The competition between BeiDou and GPS will drive innovation, benefiting everyone. It's a healthy shift from monopoly to dynamic progress. BeiDou's journey, from national vulnerability to global standard, signals a move toward a distributed, multipolar future. Technology, economics, and influence now flow along many paths, creating a more equitable world order. The stars of BeiDou are guiding the world into a new geopolitical dawn.